Hi guys, this is John here. In today's lecture, we will look at how to create a company using the Entrepedia platform. So once you are on this page where you have the option of creating your own venture, you have to first click on create your own venture, or you can click on this plus sign here. So let's go ahead and click on this plus sign here. Now the first question asks you to name your company and what is the vision of your company. So the first example company that we will take is we are going to try and create this company called Drona Aviation. So we are going to try and create this company called Drona Aviation, which is a really nice company and builds one of the best educational drones in India. And what I'm going to do is walk you through the journey of creating this company. Now, one disclaimer that I would like to make is that I will be assuming some values, and those values are not the same as what the actual company would do, but this is more about giving you the journey of creating Drona Aviation and what are the key questions that we have to ask. So I hope you're excited in starting your first drone company. So let's get started. So I'm going to name my company as Drona. Now, what is the vision? What is the vision of your company, right? So let us see if they have a vision here. So their vision is to provide a robust platform for innovators to build creative products. So I'm going to take their vision and edit it a little bit to build the best in class drones that help innovators realize their ideas. So basically the vision for the company is, where do you want to see the company 5 years down the line? So that is their vision. I want to customize Drona Aviation as green just for the fun of it. And for a logo, I would suggest, why don't you go ahead and try and design your own logo for Drona. So I'm going to leave this blank for now. Now, if you want to build a team, you will have to add members who are already registered on Entrepedia. So I'm going to add one member friend of mine. His name is Gokul. So the minute you put his username, you'll be able to access him. Now, you can search your friends with their user IDs. Now, what you'll have to do is you'll have to give your friends some stake in the company. And this total stake has to be 100%, as I've explained. So I'm going to give Gokul 50% and I'm going to keep 50%. But you can decide, and you can add up to a total of 3 members. A total of 3 members. Right now I've only added 2, but you can add 3 members by adding this plus sign. So now both Gokul and I have 50% each. And we go next. Now we have to decide whether we are going to start a product company or a service company. Since Drona Aviation is a product company, they build products, which is this drone. We will continue building a product company on Entrepedia. In the next case study, I will show you how to build a services company. So let's start off with product here. Let's click start. So now this is the journey on Entrepedia that we will learn how to create a drone product company. So let us go ahead and name our first product called Pluto. And let us go ahead and describe our product. Now, description is basically you need to ask, what does my product do and what are its qualities? So let us take some guidance from Drona itself. So let's take Pluto 1.2. Now, this is a product built by Drona Aviation, which is called Pluto. And let us think of what is the description that we can write for this product. Again, I just want to highlight that we are trying to recreate this company, and I want you to understand that to create a company like Drona, what are the points and questions we need to understand as an entrepreneur. So this is a case study that I'm showing you. So let us describe it. An easy to use modular drone platform. So when I mean modular, means it has different modules to teach students and hobbyists about building a drone. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on the next line. About 1, building a drone. Number 2, programming a drone. Number 3, interfacing sensors. So basically, what I'm trying to say here is, when you define your product and when you describe it, you also try and describe what the product is and what it can do. So that gives people a clear view as to key points about your product. So that's the first question. The second question we need to ask ourselves is, who is our customer? So if we look at Drona Aviation here, let us ask ourselves, who are Drona's customers? So what we are putting in here is my view, and that view could be different from another drone company. So here first let us ask, who is our customer? So our customer, is it an individual or is it a company? Now in my theory lecture, I have already explained to you this process of identifying your customer. So if you look at a typical customer for a drone company, it will also be an individual who's a student, or a company who could be a school. So the key question that we ask here, that who is Drona's customer? So as I explained, that it could be an individual, and when I say an individual, it could be students, it could be hobbyists. So in terms of individuals, these are the customers that we can target. So students are in the age group of 8 years to 14 years, and hobbyists could be of any age group. So you can say hobbyists of any age group. So now that we have identified the individual, we need to ask ourselves, can we also sell to a business? So the answer is yes, we can sell to schools. Now the question is, what type of schools? So not all schools will be able to buy the drones. So let us say schools who can afford to pay. Now your question must be, which type of schools? So let us say schools who charge an average of more than 30,000 rupees per year from each student. So they would have enough money to buy drones for their students. So this is a very important step, that if you are starting a drone company, you first need to ask yourself, who is my customer? And also know details about your customer, whether it is an individual or is it a business. So in individuals, we identified that students who are between an age group of 8 years and 14 years, and hobbyists of any age group. Now, students won't be paying themselves, it will be their parents. So you have to ask, can the parents afford this drone? So you will have to research, and you will find out that parents whose annual salary is more than 8 lakhs per annum, 8 lakh rupees, will be able to afford this drone for their children. Now this is a very important point you need to understand, that it's not only important to identify who is the customer, but also it's important to understand what is the paying capacity of my customer. This is very important because you might feel that everybody can buy your product, but it's not everybody. So it's always important to identify who your market and who your customer is. So this is an important step that we need to identify. So let's go ahead and put these answers in your Entrepedia platform. So our first important input is our customer is an individual as well as a company. And in individuals, we students who are in the age group between 8 and 14 years, and students whose parents' annual salary is above 8 lakh rupees. And also the third option that we will add, hobbyists of any age whose annual salary is above 8 lakh rupees. Now, in terms of a business, we will say we are addressing schools whose annual fees are above 30,000 rupees per student. Now, the second question is a more tricky question, is what is the total market size? Now, finding the total number of customers can be a tricky proposition. And the question is, how do we do that? Only simple answer is you will have to Google it. So what I have put in Google here is I searched for drone education market in India. Basically what we are trying to say, are there enough customers? Is there a large enough market? So question is the market big enough for us to go launch a company and make money? So we call this as market size. And what I want you to do is basically go ahead and search on Google and find out how big is the market. And it is not an easy question to answer. It's okay if you don't know the answer, but it's a good to have. So in case you are able to find that answer, you will find a few links here. This link I found here, the state of drone market in India. And this says that the drone UAV market is expected to touch $887 million. Now, let's calculate this number for you in rupees. So 887 million is this. And if you look at it in terms of Indian denominations, it is 88.7 crore dollars, and assuming that the value of $1 is 75 rupees, so the total market size is 88.7 crore into 75, which gives you 6652 crore rupees. So the total market size of drones is 6652 crore rupees. Now that is a fairly large number. So you know that the market is big enough. So the answer is yes. Now in case you're not able to find this number, it's okay. So let us go back and see how we fill this answer on Entrepedia. So here you can go ahead and say drone market size is about 6652 crore rupees. So the market size is a good estimate of the total number of customers that you have. Now, if you are not able to get this answer, you can also write don't know or couldn't find. It's fine. I would encourage you to go ahead and find that answer. So I'm going to go ahead and keep my answer. But if you can't find that answer, it's okay. Don't worry about it. But this is very important. The first question is very important, is identifying your customer. The second one is okay. Now, what we have done is we have defined what is our product, who is our customer. Now, the next question we are going to look at is how is your product solving a problem for your customer? So since we are making a drone for students and schools and hobbyists, let us look at some of the advantages that Drona is claiming. So it's saying that it gives a long flight time, it's light to use, it's easy to fly, and it has advanced sensors. So basically, it's giving you, a student or a hobbyist, a longer flight time. It's light, so it's not heavy in terms of damage. It's easy to fly, so it's easy to set up. And it's advanced sensors, so you can do a lot of practicals with this. So let us go ahead and see how do we put in these answers on Entrepedia. So the first advantage, the problem that we are solving for our customer, is a lightweight drone. Number 2, easy to use. Number 3, the student can learn with more sensors. And number 4, long flight time. Now, if you remember in my theory lecture, I had mentioned that why do we need to specify the problem that we are solving for our customer? The reason is, if we are not solving a problem for our customer, nobody will buy our drone. So the simple question is, you as a customer, why would you buy this drone, right? If there are no advantages. So it is very important for you to mention this here. So continuing our case study, now that we know who our customer is. So in this section, we have understood our product, our customer, and the problem we are solving for the customer. In the next section, I will explain to you about our competition, and we will look at the other sections. So I will see you guys in the next section. Thank you.